All right, so yeah,
we're gonna rock and roll, and then we're gonna do some editing magic. We got a treat for you guys today.
Oh yeah, something that I've wanted for quite some time, just never had the means to do it, or the what's the word I'm looking for?
The go-to know-how.
The go-to, the know-how. It's very important. But yeah, we're working on something, or we had something worked on, and it's done, and I'm really excited for you guys to hear it.
Yeah, but, shout out to Dan.
Yeah, well, I'll give him the full props as the show rolls on. But yeah, man, I'm excited. It's an exciting, fun little thing for me. And something that I've wanted for a very long time. But yeah, man, I'm fucking tired.
Yeah, I am too, man. I don't know what it is.
It's
this is weather.
Yeah, it's the weather.
Well, you stayed up till 4, so you can't say it's the weather.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about that on the air as well.
Yeah, you ready to rock and roll?
Yeah, let's go ahead and get that going now. All right, if all is well, you guys should have heard that perfectly.
yeah, that's our new intro.
That is our new intro. It is something that I had created by my buddy Dan from Stillworld. He was also formerly from Shoot the Messenger, an extremely talented audio engineer. And man, I want to give him the props that he deserves because that thing kicks ass.
Yeah, he sent an instrumental version over. I was like, yeah,
cool, yeah.
And then Jake was like, hey, he made one of the vocals. And I was like, yeah, this is it. This is it right here.
Yeah, I thought so too. Because he was like, well, I would kind of want you to write the lyrics because, you know, it's your show. But I'm like, man, it doesn't really need the life story.
Need a whole lot.
Yeah, it doesn't need a life story. It just needs to be basic. And I guess I didn't require him to do it any further. I'm like, it's fine the way it is. If you want to leave it alone, it's fine. And he's like, oh, here's the version I have with vocals, my idea. I'm like, okay. I listened to it. I'm like, yeah, that's what we need. So yeah,
that's love.
Yeah, that's love. And like I said, we appreciate it. And yeah, he did a great job. So shout out to my boy Dan Vallejo. He also has a website if you're interested in like podcast services. He edits podcast. I don't have the funds to have him constantly do that. So, but yeah, so yeah, you know, if you have any of your audio needs, if you want EP recorded or whatever, he's your guy. Very talented individual, and we appreciate the love, so to speak.
Good shit.
All right, man. So
yeah, we got a thick list today. We got a nice thick list.
But before, I actually didn't get the chance to do my intro.
Oh yeah,
because I still have to do my show's intro.
Yeah, you got to do the, and I got to do the.
What is going on, guys? Welcome to the Second City Kids podcast, episode number 105.
105.
Yeah. So yeah, that should probably be a little more seamless next time. But hey, we're excited. So yeah, we're back at you. How's the temp? I mean, I went out there for a little bit.
It's like 18 degrees out.
Oh,
it's nice. It's sunny. No wind. It's bearable, man. Throw on a jacket.
When's the next like 50-degree day gonna be?
Yeah, I don't know. Me and the motorcycle are wondering that too.
I don't know what's going on, but it is what it is. Real quick, how was your week, man?
How's my week? It was uneventful. I guess that's a good thing, though. You gotta have them quiet weeks. How was yours?
It was all right. I mean,
you discovered your new love like Wednesday. Yeah,
we'll talk. Well, I didn't get even a chance to play it till like Friday. No, you might be right. Thursday maybe. I didn't really get a chance. I downloaded it early in the week. We'll get to that when we get to that. But yeah, man, I'm obsessed and I fucking love it. Fucking love this shit.
Good shit. So let's get into these notes. I was at Kohl's with my girlfriend the other week, and because they always have good clearance stuff. Like the last summer we went, I think I picked up like 6 flannels for like $30, and I was like, yeah, you're not gonna find them any cheaper, right? So we went and we were just kind of looking about. She wanted some stuff, and I found that they had these like Hogwarts pins, right? Like all the houses, and I was like, hey, this is pretty cool. They were like silver plated brass, and they were like $8 because they were on clearance. I was like, oh. I need me some of that, right? Mm-hmm. I need me a Slytherin one to look good on the denim jacket, right?
Yeah.
So the one we went to, they didn't have any of them except the Hufflepuff one, which I thought was kind of funny, right? But then like I start calling around because this is a very heavy Kohl's area.
Mm-hmm. There's a few of them,
yeah. Yeah, no, there's a bunch around here. Yeah. Like I didn't realize how much there were until I Googled it. But yeah, same situation. All of them sold out except the fucking Hufflepuff one. I thought that was hilarious.
What about Hufflepuff you think?
Okay, so here's Maddie's theory because she actually commented on this. It's one of two things. One, a Hufflepuff doesn't necessarily want to go out and, you know, get a pin, right? Okay. In theory. And then her other one, which I like a lot better, she's like, nobody wants to admit that they're a Hufflepuff.
That's true. Let's think about this, the logistics of that. The most famous Hufflepuff in the franchise of the movies and the books and all that died. He did. Cedric Diggory died, and he was a Hufflepuff.
Wasn't what's his face from Magical Beasts? Hufflepuff, Newt.
I don't know.
Newt Scamander, or whatever his name was. I think he was a Hufflepuff too.
Wasn't that a Yu-Gi-Oh card?
I don't know. Was it?
I don't know.
But the dude from the prequels is a Hufflepuff, I believe.
Too. Oh, yeah. Well, maybe that's...
Well, that's two. That's two,
yeah,
you know? You could probably name a dozen, like, Gryffindors and...
Yeah.
But, you know, I was just kind of surprised because I'd figure everybody would go for Ravenclaw or Gryffindor. Yeah. But I couldn't even find a Slytherin one. I was like, damn.
I mean, I think...
snakes in the grass, bro.
I think you underestimate how...
Yeah. Yeah, because I don't think, like, I've... You know, I don't want to sound like a total fucking snob here, but I don't think I've ever met somebody that calls themselves a Slytherin, you know? You know?
Like
and like I know it sounds super douchey saying it.
But
right?
you have to keep in mind, like, how many of your general friend population are Slytherins, do you think?
Like truly or self-identifying? Because there's a big difference there.
Truly,
I think I know one other person.
Really? Who's
he
that?
identifies as a Ravenclaw.
Who?
He's a buddy from UIC of mine.
Okay.
That I see every once in a while. And there's like I'd say the same for Gryffindor. I know maybe like 2 true Gryffindors. Like if I were to put them in a house, I'd be like, you're 100% a Gryffindor.
Where do you put me?
You're a Ravenclaw, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, well, with Slytherin traits, but like you don't want to be green, you want to be blue, bro.
So
I know you.
My wife. What about my wife?
What is your wife actually? Is she a Slytherin?
She was sorted to Slytherin.
She was sorted into, but you know the sorting hat takes account into what you want too.
She wants Slytherin.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's cool though, man. Glad that worked out.
Yeah, but
oh, that's funny because me and Maddie are actually the inverse.
The inverse?
I'm Slytherin and she's Ravenclaw.
Yeah, because like my mom and my sister sorted up and down that I'm a Slytherin, so I'm like, I don't really want to be, and I say that same line on sorting hat takes what you want to account, but they're like, you're a Slytherin, dude. I'm like.
I just think there's a lot of negative stigma around the house because the movies kind of portray him as such, but there's a lot of good qualities. Like we talked about how Iron Man has a lot of Slytherin qualities and a bunch of people, and you know, it's not always a bad thing to be.
I think every trait, if left unchecked, could be negative.
Yeah, absolutely. Because look at Gryffindor. If left unchecked, the courageousness can be just
recklessness.
Recklessness. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so there's a little bit to everything, and that was our little Hogwarts talk. But I just thought it was hilarious because the only place that had them left, and like I said, these were gorgeous pins. Like, they were really nice.
They were nice.
They were originally like $40 on clearance for $8.
Oh wow!
And I was like, I will gladly pay $8. That's like pin price, you know. And I was like, God damn it! There's no Slytherin ones.
Huh.
And so the Hufflepuffs were the only ones that were left.
Do they have it on the Coles website? Did you check?
I did. They don't have them on there. Wow. Probably because it's like a clearance item, man. I was like genuinely shocked.
Huh. Interesting.
And like I said, I called half a dozen Coles. Yeah, man. It was kind of it was just a tad bit upsetting, but I thought it made for a good story.
Absolutely, I think that was a good little opening, man. Little
so with good stories there come bad stories.
Yeah.
Too.
So
the death of a giant, man.
The death. All right.
So Warner Brothers doing their magic.
Yeah, they deemed it useless, I guess. All the catalog that they had on YouTube, and yeah, it is very sad because this was
the king for a very long time.
The king of gameplay based stuff when it comes to YouTube, right? And now this gave a lot of or a lot of the famous YouTubers that to this day, the Captain Sparkles of the world, the PewDiePies of the world. I think he started up on them. There's a whole bunch of them that gave them their start on YouTube. And granted, business practices being what it is, they didn't have the greatest reputation in the world, especially near the kind of the end of their prominence. It is still sad to see something like this go.
Yeah, there's only so much you can do as a platform, but I guess it was good to be around when they were king, because that was like, man, Machinima was even older than 10 years old, because I remember they did a whole bunch of Halo stuff back in the day.
And they had their own website.
That was the big thing, man.
Yeah, it started up on their own thing, and then they're like, well, there's this platform that we can utilize to access to the masses. And like I said, I mean, granted, there were other hubs, I guess, for gameplay, at the early days of YouTube, but none bigger than Machinima. All right,
they were like the IGN, like the underground IGN,
absolutely,
and the GameSpot, and yeah, man, it's sad to see him go, but I'm assuming the content's gonna stay up, right? They're just not gonna crank out any new things, or
the content's gone.
It's all gone.
They delete. Not want to say deleted, but they privatized everything. Everything is privatized. If you go to the Machinima page today, all of them, and not even just the main Machinima main, Respawn, Realm, Sports, all these things, they're gone. Everything is gone. Every video is gone.
That's really sad.
Yeah. So even if you wanted to go back and relive some of the glory days, you can't. They fucking got Thanos' finger snapped out of existence.
2 snaps.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, so
ouch. That is rough, man. Warner Bros. What are you guys doing?
Well, like I said, I guess they didn't see the value in it, and I don't think it was still accruing money, and it was just taking up space.
Right, but it's a difference between saying, let's not do this anymore, and essentially erasing a big part of internet history.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely.
That was like, I mean, shit, man. We grew up with that. Maybe like our kids definitely won't know, and I'd say like a lot of the next generation after us was probably catching the tail end.
Yeah.
But dude, we were like in the middle of that shit. You know, we were like down in the pit, getting grimy.
I was telling Adriana, I'm like, back in the day when Respawn was king when it comes to Call of Duty gameplay or first-person shooter gameplay, and man, like the fucking live streams that
they were nuts.
Sark, Hutch, and CNNers did was like mind-blowing. They did like 24-hour live streams when Black Ops came out until they hit 15th Prestige all the way to the end. From top to bottom, and like that shit was great. And it wasn't even just the gameplay, like the original shows that they had on there, like Machinima Respawn or Radio, and those type of things. Inbox, those things are like legend.
Man. Lots of good quality people, writers, and creators that were on that platform, and sad to see them go. But as a lot of things are, if these people are persistent and they continue doing this, I'm sure they'll find their own platform. And YouTube is fairly easy to monetize now, so
yeah,
we just got to support the creators we like.
Well, like I said, a lot of those main guys out there, they're not with them anymore. A lot of those big names, they're not with Machinima anymore. So it is what it is. And I guess there was really no need for the hub channel anymore.
Yeah, man. But I just think that's so disrespectful.
Yeah,
just kind of like wiping that. But what are you gonna do? I guess.
Yeah, it's the legacy, like you said, internet history. The legacy of
internet
gameplay came from them. And it's sad to see them.
It's like think about it. Like people, a lot of people going forth won't ever understand that the internet was a wild, wild west.
Yeah.
In those early days, man, you never knew what you were gonna click on.
Absolutely.
But yeah, man. So that's sad to see Machinima go. Let's talk some movies and TV.
All right. So I don't know if you've seen this around on the internet, right? But there's a thing going around called the Spider-Man paradox, and what it is well, it's truth, because we all know Spider-Man in the MCU is a Star Wars fan, right?
Okay.
He talks about it. He's like, oh, that really old movie, that type of thing, right? But he's a Star Wars fan as well. You saw in the movie he had like the whole Lego Millennium Falcon thing, all that, right? So with Peter Parker being such a big Star Wars fan, how do you think he's gonna feel when he meets Mace Windu?
That's gonna be interesting.
I mean, he's Nick Fury.
yeah, I know he's Nick Fury. I mean, shit, man. What do you want me to say? I think they'll throw a jab at it and it'll be left at that.
I kind of hope they acknowledge it at least.
Yeah, like a little nod to it.
You kind of look like Mace Windu. Anybody ever tell you look like Mace Windu? Something like that. And have that be like it.
Yeah.
I just thought that was funny.
Well, because Star Wars also exists in the X-Men universe.
Does it?
Yeah, because at what was it, Age of Apocalypse, they were all coming out of the movie theater out of Empire Strikes Back, and they made a joke. They're like, "Oh yeah, the third one is always the worst one," or it was the fucking Return of the Jedi as they were coming out. They're like, "Yeah, the third one's always the worst one," as a self-reference to the early X-Men.
Interesting.
So,
that was Last Stand. That was their third one, right?
Yeah. So Star Wars exists in these universes. Maybe Star Wars is in the future. Oh.
Yeah. So
it is. Yeah. But yeah, man, we'll see. I think they'll acknowledge it at the very least.
Yeah, we'll see, I guess. But yeah, I thought that was kind of funny, and I wanted to mention it. All right, so as the Super Bowl came and went, I don't know if you watched it very closely at all. Probably not, I imagine. But there was a TV spot for the Twilight Zone hosted
by
Jordan Peele.
Cool.
Yeah,
I think you could do it.
Yeah.
We had this talk before with guys like Jonah Hill, Jordan Peele. Guys that you don't think would be able to do horror, but in fact do it very well. Yeah. Well, maybe not so much Jonah Hill doing horror, but you see what I'm getting. Danny McBride is what I meant. But yeah, kind of touch up on that subject again. It's good to see these guys. I don't want to say showing their true color, but showing what they can do, what
the capabilities.
the capabilities, man,
Mm-hmm.
because they're good in the roles they've played. And Jonah Hill's a very funny guy, man. But like I said, the movie he directed was phenomenal. Danny McBride, hilarious motherfucker. I feel like he always steals the show in like the Apatow Squad. Whenever he shows up, it's just his raunchiness is just so unrivaled.
Yeah.
And then did Halloween.
Yeah.
Wrote, directed, good chunk of it. Holy shit.
Oh, yeah.
That was A1 steak sauce right there.
My question is he writing it or is he just hosting it? No, that's my only thing. I don't know if he's writing it.
I'm sure there's gonna be a little bit of dipping in there.
Yeah.
Like Bryan Cranston directed one of the episodes for Breaking Bad. Vince. I think there was a whole bunch of different directors for like as the seasons went on.
Yeah.
Vince Gilligan was very liberal with that.
That's interesting.
So I think they're gonna, if he says he wants to do one, I think they're gonna eventually come to say, yeah, let's do it.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're probably right about that. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, the Twilight Zone is part of TV history.
Oh,
obviously.
absolutely.
Did you know, if I'm remembering this correctly, there was one of the writers for the Twilight Zone originally, or was one of the I think I forget his fucking name. He created Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, I could see that correlation there.
Yeah, absolutely. You could totally see
man.
that being like the twist at the end of a Twilight Zone episode, and
I mean, yeah, at the end of the day, it's just really well done and drawn out.
absolutely.
Yeah, but kind of touching base with multiple directors and multiple writers. That's the beauty of the Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
Because if we get a rebirth and you got one or two motherfuckers writing all the episodes, it's gonna get stale really quick.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have
Rotating cast.
not even that, man. I feel like it'd be such a good opportunity to guest write, guest direct, crazy people. Like I said, man, like bring in Vince Gilligan. That dude's a phenomenal fucking writer.
Fucking let Kevin Smith do an episode. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, like think about it. If you had your normal crew that does like a good chunk, let's say like 60%,
Yeah.
and then every season, assuming you have 12 episodes a
Couple
season,
guest spots. Yeah.
you have like 4 guest spots.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you got 8 normal and you got 4 guest spots throughout the season. And it's like, oh, who's it gonna be this season?
Yeah.
It's like, and then they could do like a slow reveal, like, hey, next week's episode, by the way, Kevin Smith.
Yeah. Yeah. That'd be pretty
So
cool.
that'd be a good way to draw hype to it. Because
Yes.
think about how many people want that opportunity, and what better than the Twilight Zone?
You're right. And I'm excited for it. I think it should be good.
Yeah, man. Is that gonna happen? No, I think we're overhyping this again because
That's what we do.
Sometimes we go 100 miles an hour. But,
Yeah.
Speaking about going 100 miles an hour, I received news. Well, I read an article that Mr. Vice CEO of whatever the fuck he was, he said Deadpool and Alien are gonna keep their R ratings. He's gonna keep the integrity of the movies intact.
Okay.
And that was kind of a big concern that I brought up with the merger last year. I was like, well, don't get me wrong, Deadpool isn't beloved because it's R-rated, but a lot of the humor and the character of Deadpool come from the R rating. You know, it's just kind of part wrapped up in the chimichanga that is Deadpool. And so yeah, he said that we're keeping the R ratings for these movies, and I think that was a good move. I think that was a solid move because I know there was a lot of people like me concerned.
Mm-hmm.
Because the last thing I want to see is like I almost said a T-rated, PG-13
Watered
rated
down.
Alien movie, you know? Because those movies kind of need the blood.
Yeah.
Whereas Deadpool,
I don't know if Alien so much needs it.
it works in favor of it.
It definitely works in favor of it.
Because at the end of the day, it's a sci-fi thriller horror, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Yeah.
You
But
know?
like I said, I think they could get the thriller aspect of it without the I was gonna say the M rating. You see what we did? Without the R rating. But like you said,
it's part of the art, man. It's part of the experience.
Yes, I would agree with that.
If you take away from the experience, then it kind of exactly what I said. You're taking away from the experience.
Yeah.
If you're taking away from the experience,
absolutely, that's true.
And I heard there's like a PG-13 rated version of Deadpool out there. I'm so sorry if you had to watch that.
Yeah, man. Imagine having to do all that. That's not fun. I was thinking about that. That's interesting.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's just kind of relieving.
Yeah.
Seeing as how a lot of these properties are going, and I feel like the idea behind a lot of this shit is like, let's hit the biggest target audience we can. So a lot of these movies are dumbed down.
Yeah.
Because where was comic culture 10, 15 years ago?
Nowhere.
Making a little bit of progress.
Yeah.
A tad bit. You had Kevin
movies.
Smith at the forefront of it.
Yeah.
You had people kind of like, yeah, man, Batman's cool.
Yeah.
You had people growing up with Adam West. But now look at it. It's like You will walk up to a random person and ask them what their favorite superhero is, and they will give you a viable answer.
They have an answer, yeah.
Maybe not the best reasoning.
Yeah.
That's okay. You're allowed to like who you like.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. 10, 15 years ago, it was like, who's your favorite superhero? Motherfucking Spider-Man, bro. You seen that shit? You seen them Raimi films, bro? Doc Ock type of shit? Yeah. So Disney is trying to appeal to everybody that they can, and with all their franchises and stuff, I think they're getting pretty goddamn close.
Have you heard of this uproar, or I guess uproar is the right word, on the internet about the lack of a episode 9 title? Have you seen any of the flack that on the internet? Because
I have not seen the flack, but now that you mention it, is kind of interesting.
Yeah. I did it last time though, so if it anyway, keep going.
But we had the title. I feel like we had the title confirmed by Disney in like early January, but it's almost it was coming up to March now.
Yeah. And the rumored titles, these are just like fan speculation. Somebody said Son of Darkness. I thought that was kind of cool.
Too edgy.
And the Chosen One, which okay,
edgy enough.
Yeah. So
the Chosen One would have been a better title for episode 4, man, instead of A New Hope. Well, I do like A New Hope, and it's like ingrained, but I feel like, Luke Skywalker, the Chosen One, could have worked.
We'll play a game next week, Gabe.
Let's rename the episodes.
Let's rename all of them.
Actually, the Chosen One would have worked very well for episode 1 instead of Phantom Menace, because you're talking about the Sith are coming back, and Maul gets 20 minutes of screen time, and Sidious gets like 2.
Yeah.
The Sith, bro. No, you should have had the story focus around Anakin being the Chosen One.
Yes and no, because I feel. But the title implies that they're more background. The Phantom Menace, the background kind of plague, so to speak.
Okay, looking strictly at the movies. There's not many strings being pulled here. Maul doesn't do much, and Sidious barely does enough to call himself a true politician. Come to America if you want to see some shit.
He became the president by the end of the movie. He was chancellor by the end of the movie.
Yeah, I understand that. But my issue here is that we don't really see, aside from that, of course, he does that, yeah, but we don't really see the manipulation involved here. Until it was like episode 3 where Windu was like, "Oh, you're bad, bro," and then shit kind of hits the wall, But
I think we saw some manipulation in 2.
Well, yeah, okay.
Some.
My issue here is that his character is written very poorly. And that's my thing, because damn well you could have had something like The Departed, where you. I'm not saying you got to have a Departed version of Star Wars. I'm saying
fucking Luke Skywalker.
I'm saying give him some more screen time. Are you a fucking Sith? I ain't no Sith.
Yeah, you're stupid.
But had some fun with that one. But come on, man, give this dude some more screen time and just show what he's doing. You're not show his intent right away, but come on, think about it. Like when you see episode 3 and that reveal comes, your mind should race back to 1 and 2, and you're like, I get it. I get why he was doing all of this. I get why he was leveraging it.
But we all knew who he was.
Yeah. I get that. But it was poorly done. He was a poorly written character.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on, man. We've had too many side rants today. Talk to me about Child's Play.
Yeah, so this is getting a remake.
Yeah, we kind of predicted this, didn't we?
You see the trailer? I'm shocked by it, to be honest. I thought it wasn't.
Not interested?
Nah.
Hard pass.
Yeah.
I'll leave Chucky where he belongs.
He should have been in the garbage can to begin with. I don't know how they got a franchise out of that.
I could get a movie or two, but come on, man. A whole, what? He has 7?
Something like that, yeah.
7 or 8 movies, man. Fuck that.
And his last one wasn't even that long ago. Didn't he have a direct-to-DVD kind of?
Yeah, don't look at me, man. I was never a Chucky guy.
Me either.
I never understood the appeal behind it. I know a guy who had a Chucky tattoo, and I was like, why? To be fair, he did have a whole horror-themed sleeve. But come on, man.
Fair enough.
How are you going to have Chucky and not Alien?
He didn't have Alien on there?
No.
How about Predator?
No. Neither of those two. He had Jason, which is already kind of, Michael Myers obviously deserves to be on there.
Mm-hmm.
Freddy, Chucky, the Leprechaun. Yeah. It was very selective. It's like you're going through the $5 bin at Walmart, and you're like, I'm gonna get tattoos of you, and you.
Weird.
Yeah. Leprechaun. I think he also had a really interesting thing on his other arm. He had a couple of tattoos of serial killer signatures. And I thought, growing up, I thought that was cool, but now kind of looking back at it, I'm like, man, that's really fucked up. That's really...
Like it was
not cool.
Like it's metal, but you're a piece of shit for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily. Yeah, it's like black metal. It's like Cannibal Corpse, where it's like, yeah, they got some thickness and heaviness to it, but it's like, is this really? At the end of the day, is this really it?
I don't think I think like Behemoth. You're like, oh yeah, satanic music's cool and all, but I really don't need the goat's head spiked on stage. You know what I mean?
I like Nurgle as a person, and Behemoth is okay as a band.
You like Nurgle as a person?
He has a very interesting life story. I like reading interviews about him because he's very humble. He's not like, oh, he's the devil. He's not shoving that down your throat. He's very like, yeah, man, this is how I grew up.
I think he's an intellectual.
Yeah, I think he's very he's careful about his word choice, and I just think he has a very interesting story. There's just some people where, you know, and it's kind of interesting to see that, like, yeah, Catholicism was shoved down my throat all my life, but now it's like, I'm not gonna tell you to go out there and worship the devil or anything. Like, do what you want to do. Do what, you know, draws you.
Fair enough.
And anyway, where the fuck were we?
I don't know.
Yeah, so
Child's Play.
Okay,
yeah.
Hang on. Let me back it up one notch. The tattoos, I would say that's kind of trashy, man, at this point. And I get it. Like your horror, like your fiction side. Don't embellish and don't promote.
Fantasize.
Don't fantasize the shit that went down.
Yeah.
Child's Play, I could give less of a shit about because we talked about it, man. We talked about all these franchises that are going to get, quote unquote, new breath, but it's really like when you don't brush your teeth and you just swallow Listerine is what it's going to get.
Ooh, that's
what you're going to get, man. Because on the top layer, it's like, it's minty, but then you kind of a little bit and you're like, man, did you have roast beef today? You know? Did you have some like nasty ass roast beef? Did you have some moldy Portillo's roast beef? I've never had it. I don't want to throw them under the bus, but Portillo's has a very distinct smell.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, that's my thing. And I think that was a good analogy. All right, let's talk scary stories to tell in the dark.
So, this was something that we talked
way
about
back, like 2 years ago, right?
Like 2-3 years ago.
That got greenlit a while ago.
Yeah. But they finally dropped a little trailer, and I will say,
looks good.
I'm slightly worried.
A little bit.
It looks a little bargain to me. It looks a little. I mean, granted, the stories are
one and done.
Yeah, they lend themselves to being kind of a low rent, low. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's gonna be like the ABCs of Death, where you get a little snippet, like a 20-minute snippet here and there.
Yeah, I don't know, but
oh, here's my thing. It's Guillermo del Toro doing the costume work. I'm not worried about that, and I do have issues with some of his movies he's dropped, like The Shape of Water.
Yeah,
but my issue was not that the monster looked bad. The monster looked really good. My issue was in some of the writing and the message of the movie and
fucking.
Yeah, and fish fucking. But I honestly, I could give less of a shit about that. But it was just some of the other things. Man, when I did my review of this movie, I was like, this movie looks great, and that's the extent of what I can say about it. And so, with him at the helm, I'm not too concerned about the visual aspect. It's going to be, can you capture that same feeling? Is going to be the big thing. Because
do you think this is the right type of media for it? I don't think a movie is the way they should have went with this. I think a TV show would have been good.
Not even a TV show, man. Do you remember those? You ever watch Adult Swim?
Yeah.
You ever watch the Eric Andre show? Were
No.
you around for that? He would do. It was like a 5-minute little tidbit, bro. He'd catch like a tail end of every here and there.
Mm-hmm.
And you get like a 15 or like Robot Chicken. You remember Robot Chicken?
Yeah,
How
yeah.
that was like
Skits and shit.
Robot Chicken was. The episodes were 15 minutes long, but they play 2 back-to-back for a half-hour slot is how they did it, right? That's why you heard the bark, 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 bark twice in a half-hour span, you know?
Okay.
And so I think that's the way they should do it. Make it like 15, 20 minutes a piece, man.
So I'm saying, though, but like...
It doesn't even need to be a full-ass hour. I really don't.
So how do you think they're going to intertwine this in, like, the movie? Like, how do you think they're going to weave these stories in?
There's going to be a narrator, and it's going to come in with something like, oh, there are things that go bump in the night. There are things... And then it's going to go into some of the better ones out of the book. Like the hearse, the one in the graveyard with the girl who she ends up stabbing her skirt and scaring her shit.
Yeah, scared herself to death.
Yeah. Man, I remember reading these stories in like my 4th grade class. We'd like turn off the light for reading hour, and the teacher would read it to us because we finally convinced her to do it.
Hey, man. There you go.
You know, and that was
she went for it at least. She's like, you know what? If we're going to fucking go for it,
yeah,
we're
turn
gonna
off these fucking lights, you pussy. Everybody push up to the barricade and reading scary stories. I want to see everybody fucking scream.
That's funny. I like that. So yeah, like I said, I'm a little concerned. I don't know I don't know if they're gonna have like a centralized story or one thing or
I'm
another.
telling you, it's going to be narrator and segmented things. That's the only way it's going to be pulled off.
All right.
Because if they try to do a centralized story and like one character going through all these like sub stories, that's going to not work. That's going to fall on his face.
This is true.
All right, let's talk to gaming. We got a lot to talk about today.
We do.
Let's go bottom up from this.
Okay.
So I got an email like an hour ago actually from Spellbreak.
Ooh.
The NDA is being lifted as of Monday, so you're gonna see footage from probably all the big YouTubers who have access to it. Because what was allowed as of right now, you were only allowed to talk about what was released, and you couldn't necessarily give your opinions on everything.
Okay.
And you couldn't record footage, and you couldn't show people footage. The NDA is being lifted Monday. So I promise you, any YouTuber that had access to this and talked about Spellbreak, they're going to drop a whole ass video talking about it, reviewing it. I think it's good. I think it's coming out at a very good time. I praise this game. I don't want to say highly, but I think it's good for the marketplace. And we kind of spoke about this. So yeah, Monday, just be ready for a whole ass slew of Spellbreak videos and a lot of gameplay. And man, I'm hoping a lot of tactics videos because
I'm kind of but with what has occurred, are we a little worried that it's going to get lost in the shuffle?
No,
not
too concerned. It's the format that that is a surface layer attraction, but there's a lot of in-depth gameplay, and you have a slew of battle royale games out there right now, and you have a lot of AAA people like the Black Ops people doing it, and we have Respawn that did something very interesting, but it's like I said, surface layer, yeah, battle royale. But you get into it, it's essentially a mage combat game. It's a very magic intensive, and it's not a run and gun. You got to like sit down, and you got to think about what you're doing.
You got a chance to play it?
Yes, I got a chance to play it. I got access to the pre-alpha.
So you'll be able to kind of comment about it next week then?
Yes. Yeah.
Excellent.
So moving up, why'd you put EA on here?
All right. So just so we could...
I know their stocks dropped.
Yeah. They took a big hit on the quarter for the
because what didn't sell as well as they wanted
Battlefield.
to. Yeah, I forgot to do Battlefield, man.
Yeah.
It's them and DICE.
Yeah. So I just want to just put this out there just to kind of show where their mentality is in the company and how far out of touch they are to their consumer base. And they blamed the poor sales of Battlefield on the fact that they focused on the single player experience.
No. Counterpoint, Santa Monica Studios, Naughty Dog Studios. Let's wrap it up. Next topic. If you truly focus on the single player experience,
yeah, you won't have a problem.
You're gonna have people flocking to the game,
especially now
because people create. Let me tell you this: my internet was out. I had some severe internet outage issues. Last week Friday was fine. Saturday it went out, and I was like, okay, this got to be for like an hour or whatever, right? I did all the shit, nothing, all day gone. I schedule a tech for Tuesday morning, right? Sunday it's back. I'm like, all right, cool. Cancel the tech. Monday it's gone again, right? And so I'm like, fuck, let's get this guy out here. Scheduled Wednesday morning. So from Sunday to Wednesday, I didn't have internet. And you know what came in clutch? I'll give you a hint. It was not these multiplayer games. It was these motherfucking single player games that I forgot how much I love. Yeah. And man, that's all I want to say. Naughty Dog, Santa Monica, man, fuck.
Yeah. It's I just think it's so they don't blame their horrible business practices. They're not blaming that and the bad press they caught from that.
Aren't they like the worst company to work for?
They are.
I think it's them or Comcast.
Yeah.
They're like toe to toe right now.
They're not blaming maybe some of the low rent games that they've put out. They're blaming the single player experience. This is why their stocks have dropped so hard. And that's where EA is where it is. Speaking of which, all right, no, we have one more thing. Okay, so
our boy was revealed. Our hash slinging slasher win the mask. Kabal and Kano. We talked about Kano last week. Kabal was revealed. Now here's the point I mentioned to you throughout the week. I was not excited for Kano because shit, I don't think he's missed a Mortal Kombat game in a very long time.
Yeah. 2 is the last one. I think 2.
Yeah, man, he's been in 2, 3, Ultimate Trilogy.
No, he was not in 2. He was in 1, 3, Ultimate
Trilogy, 4.
He was not in 4.
He was not in 4.
He was not.
Well, he was definitely in Deadly Alliance. He was in Deception, Armageddon.
He was. Yeah.
And then 9. and the next.
He's missed a few, but like a long time ago.
Whatever.
Yeah, 97.
We've had enough of Kano, because I think he's a big old bitch. But I'm sorry. What was I getting at? Oh, so you didn't give room for it to be missed.
Yeah.
But Kabal came back, and I was like, oh,
yeah.
Hello, friend.
Let's talk about his design real quick.
So this is easily the best this character has ever looked, period. He's always had, I don't want to say an interesting design. His mask was probably the most captivating part. But as far as I remember, it was like a black jacket with some pouches and like a ribbon on his arm, right?
And the little backpack thing.
Yeah, the backpack and like khakis at one point, right?
Yeah.
I remember he had khakis.
He did.
But now,
yeah.
First of all, that mask looks really good.
Yeah,
and we don't know if he's fully human. He might be cyborg at this point.
Well, based on some of the other costume designs, it looks like he's not fully cyberized. So,
gotcha.
But
the mask looks great.
The mask is
dreads look phenomenal.
The mask is full face, because that was one of my main issues with Kabal. Is like, why do we need to see like the burnt
cheeks?
Yeah, the burnt and all that. It's weird. I don't know, but so yeah, he's sassy. A lot of his in-game monologue is kind of funny.
I like that.
Yeah,
bringing some life.
Yeah. And it's funny because you think a character, considering his issues, what he's got going on, you wouldn't think that he would have a sense of humor.
Brooding, yeah.
He wouldn't have a sense of humor, but yeah, he seemed pretty funny. So
costume design is excellent. Yes. I love it. I would say that this is probably the best costume design we've seen, right up there with Scarlet for MK11.
Yeah,
so far.
Well, Raiden was pretty fucking good looking, but yeah, I think
Raiden does look good looking. Man, you know which Raiden skin I miss? Was it Deadly Alliance, that alternate skin?
Which one?
Where he kind of looked like almost like Fujin Shijinko-ish.
Okay.
Where he had the hat on his back and the dark armor. That was a badass Raiden skin.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, Kabal looks excellent, and he looks like he's going to be even more fun to play.
Yep.
He has like a Flash. Like he looks like he plays like the Flash.
Yeah, a little bit.
But with hook swords.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. They took away his big his big projectile, the fucking ball that goes across the screen. They took that away.
I'm sure they'll have it in some form.
No, they took it away because
fully.
Yeah, because he was
spammable,
ridiculously overpowered in 9 because of it. It was like one of them because it was an anti-air. It did everything. You do that on the floor, you could do it in the air, and it was really fast. Well, it's like Katana's blade, you can kind of time out, and you're like, you get out of the way. You couldn't do that with that, and he had like full control of the screen because he was able to jump up and do it. And then he had the fucking low
toss,
the low boom or fucking crossbow thing or whatever the fuck it is. That looked like they embracing a little bit more of that. The whole him throwing that little thing. And it's actually him throwing it as opposed to him summoning it from Lord knows where. Yeah, so he looked very good. Looks like he's going to be kind of that mid-range kind of character. Obviously, with the hook swords, have a little bit more reach.
He looks like he's going to be able to close some distance.
Yes, and it looks good. There's some good-looking stuff in there.
Yeah, sure. Man. His fatality, tasty, tasty, tasty. You mentioned it, how like each Mortal Kombat game kind of has a fatality theme. Mm-hmm. I didn't really see it till you said it, but now I totally see this is 110% face fatality shit. That was some like, man, this dude got fucking hogtied and like dragged around.
Yeah, it was pretty
bad.
It was pretty epic. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm actually at this point in time, this is probably the character I'm most interested in playing. I know I said that about Scarlet initially, but Kabal.
I mean, that's fair.
I miss you, Kabal.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's good to see him back.
With that, we also had not really a reveal, but Devora will also be in the game. Her design looks interesting.
I mentioned it. If Aaron Black does not come back, but Devora does, we're gonna have some beef.
We'll talk about something off air because I don't want to bore people with the Mortal Kombat talk. Devora looked good. She's the last big titty bug lady.
She's like the costume is reminiscent of Broodmother. So if you play Devora, you know what you're getting.
They made her less attractive because I feel like they made her too good looking in the previous games, like facial features, I guess. They made her look like ugly, made her look like a monster, which is cool with me. So yeah, moving along.
The big one. All right, so Tuesday or Wednesday, this game dropped. It is by Respawn Studios, which is owned by EA, but we're not going to talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
So this game kind of came out of fucking nowhere. It was announced and it was dropped within 48 hours?
Something like that.
So this game is Apex Legends. It is a Titanfall spinoff, essentially, at the core of it.
Mm-hmm.
It is a battle royale, and it does a lot of things right. We both got a chance to play it, so we're going to be hearing some opinions. Let's talk.
All right, man. So let me say this. This is the thing I'm going to open it up with the review. It was nice knowing you, Fortnite. Goodbye. You're done. It's over.
I said that like 3 games into Fortnite.
No, but I know. But
okay, well, I see what you're getting at, because a lot of games come up and claim to be the Fortnite killer.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of hype in regards to the blackout mode in Blops 4. Like, oh, it's a Fortnite killer. No. This is truly a contender.
Yep.
Because as of yesterday morning, there's a 10 million player base in 72 hours.
4 days or something like that, yeah.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And that whole thing to me is absolutely impressive. Because let's talk about it. Previously, when Fortnite did it, I felt like they didn't deserve it. I feel like they didn't earn the fame that it got.
Fortnite did a lot of things right in the marketplace that it was in.
Yeah.
PUBG was too serious. It was $30, and it was a lot of buggy shit. And it was, if you played it on PC, that game was not optimized. That thing would run like a fucking brick on a fucking treadmill. And now what Fortnite did was they made it the cartoony vibe, which worked. It was bright and flashy, and they did a lot of good things at the time.
Yep.
But it got a little bit stale. And so now we have a contender, Apex Legends. First of all, it's free to play.
Yep.
Excellent.
Yep.
Excellent. Because I promise you, if this game was even $10,
I wouldn't pick it up either.
It's free to play. But most importantly, is free to win. And that's the big thing that we should focus on. So this game kind of encapsulates a lot of elements from other games that we enjoy. We enjoy the character operator.
Yes, we do.
Thing, the person skill based game types like Rainbow Six Siege, Overwatch, a lot of other things we enjoy. So there's 8 legends as of right now. 8. There's 8 legends. Each of them has a passive ability, a tactile ability, and an ultimate ability. So it kind of has that Smite feel, man. You got 3 abilities. I think Smite technically has 4 because you still have a passive, right?
Well, Smite has the 4 and the passive.
So 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
5.
But yeah. So that's really cool. I think most of these, I almost called them operators. Most of these legends are pretty solid.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really, really good abilities.
You could definitely make an argument to every single one of them and why they're viable.
Yeah.
Right. So, because I think especially with Siege, there's those operators that you're like,
they're fun, but they're not necessary.
Like a Jackal.
Or like, Jackal. We'll get into Jackal later.
Okay.
But somebody like, I love her, but Cavi.
Yeah.
Not necessary. IQ. My buddy loves to play IQ. He loves IQ, but at the end of the day, you could have picked any other operator, and would not have made a difference.
Yeah. Especially since they took away her frags, but we're not gonna get into that. But man.
Each one of these has a viable case to be on your team of 3.
Absolutely.
That's another thing let's talk about. So this game's free to play, and it's a squad-based operation. There's a team of 3, and you have no choice. There's no singles, no doubles. You go in as a triplet. The drop system is very nice. So usually the last person to pick a character is the jump master. Yeah. And you can all jump to the same place, or you could diverge and do your own thing.
Wouldn't recommend it.
I usually do it when there's like a specific building I picked out. Like once we're towards like the landing spot.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going.
But I don't say jump solo when everybody
right off the bat. Yeah. Man, there's just so much to cover in this game. So first and foremost, let's talk how this game feels, because this game does a lot of bit of everything. So you have sliding, which isn't a new thing, but the sprint to slide feels really good.
It's momentum based, bro.
Yeah, absolutely.
My favorite thing is that if you need to get down a hill fast, just fucking run, slide, and you're fucking sliding down the whole goddamn thing.
It feels Warframey. I don't know if you've played Warframe.
I haven't, no.
But their movement system is butter smooth. They do sliding really well. And the thing from Warframe is that you could sprint, slide, and then double jump, but your double jumps were massive. It was like leaps. You don't get the leaps, but this still feels really good. It feels realistic enough.
Yes. Do you have a wall climb ability?
Yeah, this like pseudo parkour thing that you got. It's very basic, but I think it works in these terms. It's more than enough to get you what you need to do.
Absolutely.
The movement feels good, feels realistic. Gunplay.
Gunplay is phenomenal.
Gunplay. These guns sound great.
Yeah, they do.
A lot of them look pretty standard, but the skins you can get are phenomenal. Like I got that Hemlock skin that I showed you with the lion on it.
Yeah.
That was just out of a random Apex pack.
Yeah.
That's great. Attachments. You pick these things up on the ground. And they auto-equip you if you have a compatible weapon. My buddy was making a point. He's like, oh, this is so like unnecessary, blah blah blah. I'm like, bro, it's the easiest inventory management you could ever ask for.
Yeah, especially
because
these type of games.
if you take a two seconds to look at it, it'll tell you if you have anything that's compatible.
Yeah.
If you don't, just leave it the fuck
Leave it alone. Yeah.
But I have buddies that sprint around and just pick up everything they see, and then they're like, my inventory's full. Like, bro, I promise you're not using like half that.
Yeah, you don't need the fucking skull piercer if you don't have a sniper type of shit.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Map is good. They combine a lot of Titanfall maps.
All right, real quick.
Sure.
Let me talk about this. I know this is not a direct bashing or negative feedback on Apex Legends itself, because I feel like a lot of the Battle Royale has this problem. The map's a little dull to me. Yeah, they're a little dull looking. I don't know.
There's definitely parts of the map that look much like the others.
Yeah, and you know, I just wish that we would kind of get away from this dingy, because even Fortnite has the problem, like this dingy, everything's dirty kind of a look. Like for some sections of the map, it makes sense, but does everything really have to like kind of have that feel? You know what I mean? It's like literally probably the biggest gripe I have with this game is the kind of how it looks, like as far as the map.
You kind of do need the openness for a battle royale.
No, I get the openness.
No, but I feel you. There's nothing. Yeah. There's like a handful of landmarks, really, yeah. And I think the biggest one for me is the swamps. Yeah, that's the one I remember, and some of the big old towers. Yeah,
like I'm saying, like a lot of these things blend together to me. Like in my head, I'm like, oh fuck, is that where I want to go? I think that's where I want to go. I don't remember where I want to go now. That type of deal. I do like the drop system when it comes to be like, hey, if you drop here, you're gonna get some good shit. But
on the aircrafts,
yeah, but everybody can see that, and everybody's going for it. It's a fucking
high risk, high reward.
It is a mad dash for those those awesome weapons. The gunplay is fantastic. It fucking feels phenomenal.
The sound design is really good too.
Sound is phenomenal.
Just overall throughout the game.
Yeah.
There's a slight learning curve, and it's not massive. When I first hopped in a game, I was like, "How the fuck does everything work?" And then I think I played 4 games before I was like, "All right, I'm ready to rock."
Yeah, absolutely.
And it adds a layer.
Yeah,
it adds a layer.
I think they picked the right amount of people for this map, because I feel like a lot of those battle royales do 100, right? 100, I think, people.
Yeah.
This one did 60, 20 teams of 3. I think it's the right amount of people for this map, because I feel like if you would have any more, it would be too clustered.
Yeah.
Because I honest to God, dude, last night I won a game, and I didn't see anybody till the very end.
Yeah, some games are like that.
Yeah.
Some games are like that.
And I like that. You know what I mean? Because sure, it's fun to get into the fucking bananas, but it's also kind of fun to creep from building to building and be like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Double check each direction and then creep to the next building, kind of a deal. So, yeah, man, it fucking feels great. It looks great. I really like some of the operators.
Who do you play?
I'm leaning. My 2 favorite is Wraith. Wraith is number 1. And if she's taken, I usually go Lifeline, and I fucking love her. I love her. I actually won my first game with her.
Very cool.
Yeah, I've won like 4 or 5. So it's probably the most successful battle royale experience I've ever had.
Yeah, man.
I think I've won 2 total Fortnite games since I've been playing it. So
yeah, buddy.
Yeah,
I play Wraith, and I can't remember what the damn robot's name is.
Fuck. What's his name? No, what's his name?
He's the tracker dude.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Fuck, what's his name? Now it's gonna fucking.
Well.
Yeah.
But I like those 2. I'm leaning towards those 2.
Yeah.
And man, what is there to say about this game that 100,000 people haven't already said?
It's a great
quality.
game. It's
really good.
Absolutely.
To my knowledge, I guess Respawn didn't really like notify EA. They didn't like tell them of this game's.
I wonder why. It's almost like they would like abuse it and use some of their shitty business practices and put them into the system almost. And here's the deal. Hey, like you said, it's free to play. That's number 1.
Okay. Oh, we totally forgot a big ass mechanic. But go ahead.
No, go ahead. Let's talk about the mechanics first.
So there's this thing in the game that this does really well that encourages you to stay.
Oh yeah.
The banner system.
The banner system is fucking.
The banner system.
It's fucking fantastic.
So, if you're playing with buddies, it's one thing.
I've won
with randoms.
Yeah. I've won a game coming back through the banner system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if your buddy dies, you go through his crate, and you pick up his banner, and you take the banner to a respawn station, and he comes back.
Yeah.
And he comes back. How titties is that?
And it adds another layer, because like once a lot of times in those battle royales game, your friend die, you move on, right?
Now it's you stay to the end.
you stay. Not only do you stay to the end, but you're like, okay, I gotta pick up my friend, and then I gotta stop at.
Now I gotta make a detour.
Yeah, now I gotta
make nobody's next to that thing.
Yeah, you gotta make the detour. You have to make sure you're clear to do it. And I think it's just a phenomenal little.
Let me tell you this
little tidbit.
We played a game Thursday night. It was me and my 2 buddies, so we have a full squad.
Mm-hmm.
How did this game go? We dropped. We get like ransacked immediately, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those 2 die, and I'm like, oh shit! But I made it out, and I respawned both of them. I guess because you could do 2 in 1 respawn point, which is cool. They both come back. I get downed. My other buddy gets downed. We both die, and then the third guy was like, oh shit. I was like, dude, book it. There's like 6 people over there. Do not look back. Books it. We make it to second place from this dude just hiding. He came back from the dead, and he had like low-level equipment all the way to the end.
That's funny.
And it was like the closest circle of the map, and he was literally hiding on top of a vending machine. All he had was a shotgun and a frag grenade. He had the EVA-8 and the frag grenade. Somebody opens the door to the building he's hiding in. He yeets that frag grenade, right? But they didn't see him, so they closed the door. Like half a second later, the frag grenade blows off and it blows the door down. And we're just watching it. We're like, oh my god, oh shit. But yeah, we made it to second place.
Yeah,
and that was fun because of the respawn system.
Yeah,
so nice.
And it's funny because usually in these kind of games, or just first-person shooters in general, I always normally lean towards the SMG category and the assault rifle category.
Yeah, man.
That's kind of changed with this game. I like the sniper. I like the shotgun combo. The Peacekeeper is fucking phenomenal. That shotgun is beautiful.
EVA is for me, man.
Fuck that shit. But because the fucking Peacekeeper hits so goddamn hard.
Yeah, it's like a truck full of dildos.
Yeah, it hurts. And the sniper, especially when you got a scope on that thing, you get to fucking kind of poke your head
I
up.
like the G7.
Play a legitimate sniper role. You can kind of overlook a town while your buddies are ransacking it.
Well, the nice thing too, if you're playing Wraith, is that she'll get those notifications. It's like, oh, I think there's a sniper.
Yeah,
we're being watched.
Absolutely. Yeah. There's that, and what the pinging system is fucking phenomenal.
Oh man,
they did
so underrated.
Great job with that.
Ping once to recommend, and then everybody else pings to confirm.
Yeah,
fuck.
There's
Why
that.
does Rainbow Six not have that?
There's that, and there's the fact that you could ping gear and it'd be like, hey, I got a level 2. The character will say, hey, I have a level 2 body armor here. That's fucking phenomenal. That's
10 out of 10.
They did a great job with that, man. And I can't say enough positive things about it because, bro, like I said, there's not very many games anymore that I'm like, okay, I could play it nonstop. Siege is one of them. Smite, this game's up there with that replayability. And it's one of those things like, okay, one more. You know what I mean? So next thing you know, it's 4:00 in the morning.
Apex really came out of the woodwork, man. It's a fun game.
Yeah.
And servers are good.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't gotten a win yet. We've gotten second.
Mm-hmm.
But, I got a little different community to deal with.
Yeah.
As opposed to the PS4 community.
Yeah.
But we'll hop on. We'll see how we do. But
we'll do well, I think, dude. Because I think...
Yeah, if we have coordination. And
especially
I think you and me, man. Even when you and me are just playing Siege with like a random 3-stack, we'll do fine.
We'll do fine. Yeah, we'll definitely do fine.
So, first of all, Respawn Entertainment.
Excellent job, guys.
You deserve a standing ovation.
Holy fuck, man.
Because we've spoken about it, how the Battle Royale scene is getting stale.
Mm-hmm.
It's getting dull, and people are just not going to want to play it anymore.
Yeah.
Then this game came
out. You guys revitalizing this.
And smacked around the dummy.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, now there's new life. There's fresh life. There's a lot of things this game does really well.
I'm looking forward to playing a Battle Royale game. Think about that. Because once I got like maybe...
I'm just looking forward to unlocking Caustic or Mirage.
Yeah,
man.
I haven't done that yet either. I don't know how people fucking got... Maybe they spend the real life money on it.
We were playing Thursday night, and there was people with like 300 kills on one character. I'm like, how? This game's been out for 48 hours.
I don't know, man. I think the most I got on one character is like 30 or 40 or something like that right now. The most successful game I had was a 7-kill win. So with Wraith. I love her ability. But another thing I want to talk about, and another reason and way they should be commended is, sure, they do have a loot system, right? Or loot box system. But
all cosmetic.
It's all cosmetic. The banners and all that kind of fun stuff. The trackers, those like all cosmetic. There's no pay to win here.
The finishers.
Not even just the finishers. It's not even just that. It's the fact that if you buy from them, if you buy with in-game currency, there's an elimination system. So once you have something, you can't get a duplicate of it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
So if you buy enough of them, you get everything, and that's the way it should be. I think it's 50 total. If you buy 50 of them, you get everything that they got in the game right now. And I was digging around a little bit last night through some of the badges. There's going to be a founders pack for this.
Think so?
It says it said one of the badges say purchase the founders pack.
Oh.
Yeah, so
Super Sleuth Jake.
Yeah, so I'm digging through it, and if they have a founders pack,
you probably get all the
hero,
legends.
all the legends and stuff. I maybe like skins, maybe special skins for the season or whatever. Maybe if there is a founders pack, depending how much it is, I'm not going to drop $60 on it.
Nah, man, it's probably going to be in the $30 ballpark.
Yeah, they got my money because this shit's fucking. It feels great. It's a lot of fun. I want to play it right now as I'm looking at you right now. I'm immersed into this world. I think going with the Titanfall IP and kind of running with it is a great idea.
Well, you didn't even know it was Titanfall.
Yeah, I had no idea. It's subtle. You know what I mean? You look around and you're like, oh, duh. But there's no, the mechs, those aren't anything here. But I think it's interesting, and I think they did a great job with it. And
so let's recap really quick. If you make a game that looks good, sounds good, feels good, plays good, and is fair.
And you're not a douche, yeah.
What do we learn?
That it's fucking going to be successful, yeah.
It's going to be successful. Because 10 million players.
In 4 days.
48.
Yeah.
I think it was less than 4 days, man.
It might be,
like
yeah.
midweek.
Yeah.
Let's call it 72 hours.
Yeah.
10 million players. Think about that. If that's not world breaking, I don't know what is.
I don't know.
So looking forward to what they have. My one hope is that EA doesn't fuck this up. Well, add all the cosmetics you want. Add all the pretty ass skins you want. Don't pay to win.
And real quick, you could fucking if you grind enough, you can buy a particular skin if you want to, which is phenomenal.
You could buy the operators.
But
you could...
my thing is like, I know EA, right? And they got fucking dollar signs in their eyes right now. So, and especially with the coming off the bad quarter, we'll see what they do. Hopefully,
maybe Respawn should do a. Oh fuck! Who pulled out? Bungie.
Bungie with
maybe
Activision.
They should make like Bungie and yeet the fuck out of it.
Yeah, and take their shit with them, huh? That'd be nice.
Titanfall was a falling IP too, man. And
it was even their fault. It was a good feeling game. It's just
released at a bad time.
Released at bad time. Yeah.
Bad PR. A lot of things went into that.
Yeah.
But now we have hype again, and there's love, and I think we kind of encapsulated it. If you haven't played it already, please download it. It's free to play.
Yeah.
The worst thing that happens is you say this isn't for me and uninstall it.
And move on. Yep. Move on. So I know Parker said he's downloading it. My buddy Ty said he's downloading it. So anytime you want to hop on, bro.
Very cool.
We'll have
very cool. I'm actually quick little update. I am at the last part of Leon's story in Resident Evil 2. Oh, so good. Love this game.
Yeah.
So good.
Absolutely.
All right. So we'll talk when I wrap it up.
All right. Excellent. So let's go ahead and move down to the music category. We're about an hour in.
Yeah, we'll skip the games for these week. We'll push them over just for the time's sake. All right, so I saw an article this week. Did you see this one?
I think I have an idea what you're talking about, but I want you to let
Panic
me know.
at the Disco's Brendan Urie is a rather good-looking dude.
Yep.
Right? I think that's safe to say.
Yep.
It's sad that the world has come to this, but he had to release a public statement, and all these people and shit had to agree to this new rule of his. If you're doing a meet and greet, if he's playing at any venue, you can't kiss him. What the fuck, man?
Yeah.
You think that shit would be common sense?
Yeah, you would think that.
You really do think that shit would be common sense.
What's wrong with shaking the man's hand and giving him a hug or something like that? Like, why do you have
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But like he would do this like I don't want to call it a skit, but it was like this performance for the one song where he would like walk into the crowd and stuff.
Yeah, people were
people would like grab him and kiss him, bro. Like fucking relax, make room for the guy.
Yeah.
And see, this is why I like the hardcore scene, because you have Travis from what was it, Varials, or I can't remember the band right now, but where some dude got on stage, what did Travis do? Drop kick him off.
Yeah.
Even people like Parker Cannon from The Story So Far, don't get on my fucking stage, and he kicked that girl off.
Action Bronson throws people off stage.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
He's a big fucking guy, so he grabbed him and fucking.
Yeah, man, I don't blame that. Every time I had some issues with this, and Keith released a statement like, "Hey, this is my space, and unless I'm openly inviting you to grab the mic, don't come up here, because shit's gonna go down."
Or fucking remember when Jordan kicked that fucking fly out of that guy's hand that one time? Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. Well, Corey Taylor too, and
Yeah.
whole bunch of people, bro. This isn't new things.
Yeah.
But it's just like, imagine if Brendan Urie kicked somebody off stage, like physically kicked them. There'd be an outrage.
Yeah, people would be upset.
And it's really sad that like we've come to this point where expected behavior is no longer expected. Be on your best behavior at concerts.
Absolutely. Especially to the band. Of all people, the band.
Bro. And think about it. Brendan Urie is married. How must his wife fucking feel?
That, and like, it's one thing if the fucking guy was a douchebag, but by all accounts, he's a really nice guy. And I'm not a fan of Panic at the Disco. I don't really like the music, but
He's a good musician. He's a nice guy.
Absolutely.
Very talented. Be respectful, man.
Yeah, be respectful to the guy. Fuck.
Come on. Come to a hardcore show once and then try and get up on stage.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Yeah.
You're going to get a wall full of Jericho. Hey, that's my reference for the day. I just thought it was really sad, man. And the worst part is that it would come from a band like this, where the frontman is a very good-looking dude, where the fan base spans from, I'd say even like teenagers today to people our age.
Imagine if this was like, because he's a dude. Imagine if this was a female this was happening to. Oh my God.
Double standards, man.
The public outcry.
Outrage,
yeah,
bro.
Public outcry.
Well, depending on who the band was, but I'm sure there'd be like rape cases, sexual assault cases.
Like imagine if it was like Ariana Grande or something like that, dude. Yeah, it's over with.
Yeah, security's taking you down.
Yeah, so
it's just kind of sad that we're in this state. But in hardcore shows, you got to deal with crowd killing. No show is perfect, and people make it shitty, but let's make it less shitty for everybody else out there.
Especially the band.
Yeah. All right. We actually have 2 album reviews.
We do.
Oh, mine's actually an EP. You want to go first, or should I go first?
I'll do mine. So, my wife actually turned me on to this band. It's called Light the Fire. Let me look up the name of the album. It's actually kind of a fun album title. I thought it was fun. Sorry. Compassionate and Unlikely Places by a band called Light the Fire. I think they're new. I think this is their new jam. It's on Standby Records. It's a neat little album. Now, I think they're kind of falling into the same kind of category of like a Wage War, where I feel like they don't have to rely on the cleans, and I think it should be something kind of to flavor certain songs. But they had like a ballad on here, and it felt kind of disjointed. Overall, it's not a bad effort. This is the first time I'm hearing about them, so I'm assuming that it's like a debut or something like that. And if you're into that kind of vibe, into that Wage War kind of feel, I'd recommend it. It has some super nasty breakdown parts, and like I said, if you're kind of into the genre of kind of where it's going, I think this is for you. For me, it's like a B. Nothing crazy. I would give it like a 3 or 3.5 out of 5. Nothing amazing.
So 7.
Yeah. Nothing crazy, but definitely a good step
in the right direction
into the new year of music, and I guess we'll see where it goes from here.
Very cool. So I did the Sentinels EP.
Mm-hmm.
It is called Unsound Recollection.
Unsound Recollection.
Yeah. Okay, so this isn't like a debut or anything. These guys have been around since 2015-ish, I want to say. This is a pretty good 7-song EP.
Okay.
So here's the thing with Sentinels. They got the lows, they got the growls, they got the precision. They got the precision of a fucking surgeon. This EP is super technical.
Okay.
My kind of concern listening to this was they're missing something. They're missing that lighting, that fire. That's that je ne sais quoi. That's something they're missing. And I was like really upset because I was like, they have all the great makings of a solid ass EP, right? And then I was satisfied because as soon as Neurosis hit, it was like a switch was turned on or something. This shit started going 100% balls to the wall.
What was the?
I don't know, man. The first half of this EP doesn't really, and it's what three songs. The first 3 songs don't really get me. Neurosis is number 4. Everything after Neurosis is like a whole different breed of aggression, and they get down and dirty with this guitar work and this precision. And I was actually listening to this on my way to work yesterday, and I was at a red light, and I was like, holy shit, why is my car shaking? And I turned off the music, and I was like, that wasn't my car. That was Sentinels. Just fucking rumbling my underbelly like that. This EP bangs. Check it out. It is a solid 7. If you're looking for something technical and something like... If you like Lower Empire, check this out.
Okay. Interesting. All right.
If you like After the Burial, check this out.
Okay.
These guys are solid.
So you know how you guys talked about previously about over technical music tends to feel like it's played by a robot. Does it have that problem?
No. Because I don't want to diss on the drummer because he's a very good drummer. But there's something about the way everything colludes with each other. Like Matt Grainer's very technical and precise. Mm-hmm. This guy is too. But there's something about, I don't know if it's an off tempo or if it's just.
Is it like a layer of slop?
A very thin layer of grease.
That's very
what you
thin
need, man.
Layer, That's what you need.
Like a very thin layer of like, I don't want to call it air, but it's like grease, like elbow grease.
Yeah.
You know, you can feel it because there's no elbow grease in a machine drum.
Yeah.
There is elbow grease in a human drum.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
that's what it is, man. And like I said, I'm not like down talking these guys or anything. You should definitely check out this EP. It's a solid S7 for me. But yeah, there's something in there that's greasy. And you know what? Sometimes you need some grease to lubricate your esophagus.
Yeah, I know
what Josie told us. Eat something greasy, get rid of that hangover. Very cool. We got a 10-song set list for you, ladies and gentlemen. It's Ice 9 Kills this week.
We do. Let me pull that up real quick.
I'm like positive we have the same songs.
100%. Yeah, most likely. And it's funny because this was something that I made for myself like months ago. And I'm like, oh, is this actually 10 songs? I looked, and it just so happened to be 10 songs.
Cool. I had issues with this 10-song set list.
Did you?
Just filling it.
Really?
Yeah, you know how the Vanna issue was like, shit, how are we going to compact this to 10?
Yeah.
Now it was like, oh, fuck, how am I going to fill 10?
Interesting. So you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. We're going to open with American Nightmare. I think this is a good opening track.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to do Enjoy Your Slay.
Okay.
After that, Thank God It's Friday. Communion of the Cursed, number 4. Stabbing in the Dark, halfway through the set is 5. Merry Xmas. I think that song needs some more love. That's 6. Me, Myself, and Hyde is a little kind of calm down point at 7. Bloodbath and Beyond at 8. Rock the Boat. I know they're probably never going to play this live, but I enjoy that song. And It Is the End. At number 10. If you noticed, 8 of these songs are from the last album.
It's funny because I think you and I only had one different thing.
You probably didn't have Rock the Boat, right?
No, I didn't have Rock the Boat.
Yeah.
All right, let's go through this, and this is the order that I would put it in, because like I said, I'm a little bit more of a bigger fan than Gabe, but you and I have the same kind of
mentality on this.
I think there's like 2 songs differences. I have one song in here, and you don't have. Yeah. Anyway, opening up with "Stabbing in the Dark."
Oh, full fucking blood and gore.
Song, huh? Big fan, so had to do it. Me, Myself, and Hyde.
Cool.
American Nightmare right in the middle, or at the 3 point. Bloodbath and Beyond. This one was up in the air for me. I didn't know if I was going to make it. It was either this one or Hell in the Hallway. But I chose Bloodbath and Beyond. Thank God It's Friday. A grave mistake because I figured you needed a slow point. It's not my favorite song, but I figured you need something in the middle. Enjoy Your Slay. Merry Xmas. It Is the End. And Communion of the Curse to wrap it up.
Very cool.
Yep.
Very cool.
Like you said, majority of the songs being off the most recent. And yeah, that was it. 41 minutes. I think that's an appropriate amount of time for a 10-song set.
Like I said, man, I just had issue filling this up.
All right, Gabe, who do you want to do this next week?
Let's do, because I've been in a fucking, I don't want to call it a rut. I've been in a very good position. Let's do a 10-song set list for Great American Ghost.
Okay.
It'll give you an excuse to re-listen to it. Because
Yeah.
I did. Oh, holy shit. I actually, quick shout out to those guys, Great American Ghost, Boston Hardcore, gotta love that shit. Them and actually another group that I think was, you did an album review, or it was on your recommended, Vilas.
Mm-hmm.
Their album, it came on the other day when I was on my way to Grange, and I was like, fuck. And there's something about re-listening to an old album that maybe you didn't appreciate as much the first time around.
Yep.
And these two seriously stood out to me. So
Excellent.
Check them out. If you need an excuse, this is it.
Excellent. All right, so we're going to go ahead and roll into the certified bangers then?
Cool. I actually don't have much.
Really? I got 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 3. I have a single by a band called the Avalanche Diaries. They are an Italian metalcore band. It's called Alive, and it's excellent. It's excellent.
Very cool.
Excellent. These are all my wife's songs, by the way. She dug up all these for me. Next up, I had, where's that? Oh shit! Where did I? Dissonance. There's a album by a band called Asleep at the Helm. Also, the song is self-titled. Very, very good. Fucking heavy, too, man. Now, again, this kind of falls into the category of unnecessary cleans, but whatever. And this one's a little bit different. This is called The Road to Milestone. But the single's called Suffocating. Think of a heavier Silverstein.
Cool.
A little bit of a heavier Silverstein. Not as many dirty vocals, but still good. Still solid. But yeah, that's what I got for my certified bangers.
Very cool. So for my certified bangers, you should absolutely go check out the August Burns Red Phantom Sessions EP. That dropped on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
In addition to that, Kingdom of the Giants dropped a new single called Bleach. It's pretty good. My issue with the last album was a bit too generic for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I got high hopes for him. So we'll see where that goes. And then Victims. You remember Victims?
I do.
They did a cover of a Slipknot song.
Which one?
Take a wild guess.
Wait and Bleed.
No.
Surfacing.
No.
I don't know.
Take a wild guess. Just take one more guess.
People equal shit.
No.
What?
It is I totally forgot about this song too. It is a single off Volume 3.
The Blister exists?
No. The Nameless.
Oh, okay.
You remember that?
Yeah.
You remember that song? I was like, fuck. And
Is that a single?
Yeah, it was a single. That was a single, yep.
Was the Blister Exist a single? Did I just throw out a single that might have...
No, I think that was a single as well. That Blister Exists.
Duality and Before I Forget and Vermilion.
I think that wraps it up for that one. But yeah, they did a cover of The Nameless. It's actually pretty solid. Check them out. Victims is another band that needs some more love on this show.
Yeah, we like them quite a bit.
But I think that you got 7 or 8 there, man. Get back to us. Let us know what you think of these bangers.
Yep.
Too heavy, too soft, just right. Goldilocks. Certified Goldilocks of the week.
Sure.
That's a little too...
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little rough.
I think with that one,
yeah.
let's make like a
Make like a what?
condom and wrap it up.
Okay. Excellent. All right. So if you guys want to go ahead and...
Gideon dropped the single. I forgot too.
Who? Gideon? Okay.
No Love, No One.
How did that go?
Good.
Okay, cool. All right. So if you guys want to go ahead and like us on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Spreaker, Stitcher Radio, TuneIn Radio, Podbean, all that good stuff, you can go ahead and find us there. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Rate, comment. We're also on YouTube as well, so go ahead and check us out on there. If you guys want to play with me, play with your boy. I don't know if anybody out there wants to play with me on Apex Legends. I will probably be on a little bit later tonight, probably till about 4 o'clock in the morning again. And yeah, but other than that, man, that's the Second City Kids podcast. Now I'm contemplating, Gabe. I'm contemplating whether we should put the intro at the end of the song, at the end of the podcast. No, just leave it from the beginning. All right, excellent. But until then, we'll see you next week for 106. But until then, deuces.